Could decimate bee populations across the U.S. Will Reeve is joining us now from Central Park with more on this. And Will, also concerning, they've been known to kill people as well.
Yes, Amy, dozens of people per year in Japan. People who have been stung by a murder hornet say it feels like hot metal driving into the skin. The hits keep coming here in 2020. The murder hornet has been spotted in the U.S.
Now, as the pandemic keeps people indoors, another potential reason not to go outside in 2020, the so-called murder hornet.
The biggest ones will get just to about 2 inches.
Known as the Asian giant hornet, it can be up to 5 times larger than a honeybee. Its stinger strong enough to pierce through a beekeeping suit. Its venom can be deadly. These hornets kill dozens of people in Japan every year. And now they've been sighted in the U.S. These images taken in December in Washington state. As summer approaches, scientists are racing against the clock to track them down. Ted McFall is a beekeeper near where those first sightings happened. He says the, quote, beasts decimated his entire honeybee colony.
Never have I seen a bee slaughter in the way that this hive had been slaughtered.
And these hornets have a vicious sting. Just ask animal expert and YouTube personality Coyote Peterson, who voluntarily got stung by one in 2018 for his show Brave Wilderness.
If you can imagine getting yourself into a scenario where somehow Mike Tyson was able to take an open shot right at your jaw, that is kind of what it feels like.
Experts say if you encounter one of these large hornets, get as far away from it as you can.
Experts also say that most people have nothing to worry about. The murder hornets have been spotted in extreme northwest Washington state and in British Columbia, but there is no evidence that they are anywhere else in North America. Guys?
Not yet, at least. All right. Will Reeve, thank you so much. I've heard people say with this murder hornet in the heels of the coronavirus pandemic that we're just ready for this Jumanji game to be over with.
Yeah, remember when we were excited about 2020?
Wow.
New Year's Eve? Not so much anymore.
A massacre in the honeycombs.
There were dead bees all over the front of the hive, all over the bottom board, and they all had all been chopped to bits. They were decapitated.
Beekeeper Ted McFall says he went to check on a hive one morning in November and found an entire colony destroyed. 60,000 honeybees torn apart in a savage attack. About a month later, the alleged attacker was revealed. This Asian giant hornet found in Blaine, Washington, just a couple miles from McFall's property.
And all it takes is a couple dozen of the Asian giant hornets to show up and start lopping off heads.
Dubbed the murder hornet for its powerful sting and the way it decapitates its prey, this is the first time the world's largest hornet has been seen in the U.S. In its native Asia, Vespa mandarinia is notorious, seen on programs like Netflix's 72 Dangerous Animals. Washington State entomologist Chris Looney says the clock is ticking.
The goal is to eradicate it now while the population is presumably small.
If he and his colleagues can't wipe out the invaders this summer, they're likely to multiply and spread across the country with potentially disastrous consequences. They're counting on the public to help trap and track hornets back to their nests.
They have a 1-year life cycle, and so every year we can keep a nest from reproducing, then we win.
The hornets also pose a threat to humans. Adventurer and YouTube personality Coyote Peterson tracked one down in Japan to demonstrate how painful their sting can be.
Searing pain!
A few dozen stings can be fatal. Asian giant hornets kill around 30 to 50 people a year, and while Japanese bees have evolved to create self-defense systems, North American bees have no idea how to fight an alien predator like this. Bee lives matter, experts say, not just for honey, but the entire food system.
The pollination that honeybees do for our food supply cannot be understated. I mean, there's so many fruits and vegetables that are dependent on honeybees.
In other words, a threat to the bee is a threat